that one of my neighbors cut down a big holly bush, and I did a vase that's about 12 inches tall and 6.5 inches in diameter. And of course, it cracked while it was drying, and then it had some limb knots and all in it. But I filled those voids with copper powder and CA, and then sanded them off, and it looks like it's solid copper down in the cracks and all. It's pretty cool.
Oh, that's neat.
But I will. I'll check on that. Y'all go on somebody else. Y'all, I've wasted enough time. I'll see what I can do on this.
We are now
You
officially
can always send it to the editor.
Okay.
Send the picture to the editor.
Oh yeah, I could do that.
That's a good idea.
Why don't somebody highlight me? I want to try something. It looks like I might be able to do it, but I ain't sure.
You're on, Terry.
No, I'm not.
There he is.
I'm seeing Sue.
I can't highlight him. I'm not co-hosting right now.
Yeah.
Well, he was highlighted.
Hold on. Let me get out of chat.
That's because he was talking.
Who's wanting to do what?
Start talking again, Terry.
Who's wanting to do what?
Did you find me? Yeah, I was just going to try something, but I don't know if you could highlight me if nobody can find me.
Yeah,
there you go.
Ugly as I am, you can't find me. Okay, very good. Let me try something here.
You're on, Terry.
I'm playing with it right now. Let's see what happens. I added one. Nope, it's not going to do what I thought it would. Okay, you can go back. I just thought I might have a way to do it with his iPad, but it don't work either. I'll have to figure it out later.
I'll just, I guess I'm going to have to bring my deal is I don't have a very good camera on my computer, and I get a better transmission off of the iPad, but that's.
Oh, hi, Gary.
But what's wild is it wants to go to the photos, and if I've already got the photos open, it won't do it. So that's crazy.
That's the same thing I got. When I open a photo, I can't get back to share.
So I'm just playing with it. I closed that photo, and I'm gonna go down and see if I can highlight one and pull it out that way, maybe. But who knows? Who knows?
This meeting is being recorded.
It is? Why is it being recorded?
Yeah, really.
Oh, we got Sue highlighted.
Yeah.
What is
Someone's trying. I like that.
I saw a truck.
Fine trees.
Saw that. What the heck? Scott, what is that?
What is that?
Yeah, Scott, what is that?
Something I want to show Matt that I'm going to do on a plate.
Oh, that'll be neat.
If he's still here.
Show it again. Show it again. Ooh, very nice. Hey, I used that I don't know what I did with it, but I used that polyacrylic to build up along the edges, and I was able to erase all evidence of the decal lines by building up the polyacrylic and then sanding it flat. So
Matt, this is transparent.
Okay.
and it's printed on an ink. It's transparency paper that's made for an inkjet printer. You can print any image on it you want. Then you could take it to your fancy cutting machine and cut it into a circle or a square or whatever you want and glue it to your piece.
Sure.
And
Oh,
this
cool.
is only 1 mil thick, this transparency.
Wow.
Okay. Well, I mean, I discovered, like, when I was using Frisket film for some things, that even that, the edges of that will show up.
That doesn't
But
take.
I should go get that plate now. I don't, the plate's downstairs. So what we're talking about, folks, is we're talking about using appliques in some way or another to apply to wood turnings. And I did that porcelain, the Delft blue plate. I don't know if you guys remember seeing that.
I do.
But okay. I've got pictures if y'all want to see it. But I use decals for the flowers. And one of the issues is you can see the edges of the decals. So unless whatever you print like that, that's sharp, man. I like the way that looks.
So that's printed and has glitter film put to the back of it.
Okay.
So there's actually 2 pieces of film there. You can see it out on the edge of this piece where the other film is on the backside. So you can actually create a starry effect because this is perfectly translucent. It's almost like a old-fashioned photo, what you got out of the camera years ago.
You don't have to worry about it running since it's an ink. No?
Nope. So the back of this paper is 2-sided. You can see the back, see how dingy it looks on the backside?
Yeah.
That's the side you print on so that the image adheres to the transparency sheet.
Oh,
Gotcha.
Okay.
It takes a few seconds for it to dry. I mean, when you take it out of the printer, obviously you don't want to run your finger across it right away.
Yeah.
But once it sits for an hour or so, you can't even get it off with alcohol.
Wow, that's great.
So that's just something I'm trying to get Matt involved in.
Yep.
That's from a card making store, Matt.
Yep. I figured.
Scott,
Yeah.
that'll be the stuff that you used to use on overhead projectors.
Yes, it's very similar to the same material. Yep.
Yeah, it's an acetate material for overhead projectors. That's why it can print one side and not the other.
Yep.
I've used that. I have used that in the past, and transferred the print onto the timber, and then being able to pyro the effectively trace the item. But I found it better to use paper if you're doing that.
Yeah.
But them acetates are really good if you're going to lose them underneath resins.
So here you go, Martin. Here's number 1.
Super job. Yep, looks good.
And if anybody doesn't know, that's one of Martin's finials or ferrules.
It's taken you 3 weeks, Scott.
I had Christmas in there.
Is Joaquin still on?
I don't know.
Is Joaquin still on?
I don't see him. He left kind of early.
I just let him back in a second ago. I think he's having issues with his computer.
He was on his phone earlier on.
Yeah, I don't see him in the list.
Yeah, he's not on anymore. He's gone.
Yeah, he buggered off. He was having tech issues.
The reason I was asking is because Joaquin joined my meeting earlier on, and then he said he sent me a message saying I'd been driving, Martin, and I was in and out of your meeting, but you were having a very interesting conversation. Can you send me the details of the conversation that you were having, and the pictures? And I said I will get you up to date. I'll have to find them, and that's what I was saying to you, Dane. I've got with my group tonight. Sometimes you come across something on Facebook and you see it, and you know, we flick through Facebook and we don't really take very much notice. But every now and again, you see something on Facebook and it just grabs your attention. And this particular article grabbed my attention. And it grabbed my attention, firstly, because I thought, what is he trying to do? And to find out what he was trying to do, I then had to go into the notes to try and understand, you know, what he was trying to do. And a guy had posted saying, this is what he's doing, because the guy hasn't been very forthcoming with what he is actually trying to do. So I'll show you guys. None of that will make any sense to you lot. It probably, it'll have just gone straight over your head. But I will, let me just try and share screen. If I've got a share screen, share my phone screen. Yes. No, not that one. Let's try that again. Because as you can see, I'm on my phone. Share screen. Start recording or casting with Zoom. That's not what I want to do. I can see why he was having problems, Dane, because it's asking me if I want to share any of my digitals rather than my actual screen on my phone. So I might be able to do it different.
This latest upgrade has been screwy.
Yeah, all as I wanted to do is literally just share my screen rather than hide system apps. We'll hide them. No, it's not going to let me just share my screen, Dan.
Oh, that's weird.
I don't feel so bad.
No, my screen is open. It's ready to share. There's no reason why I couldn't share that. And normally when I'm on my computer, it's a lot easier for me. But my screen, the screen that I wanted to show you, is open and ready to share. But for some reason, it's asking me to share apps, and I don't want to share apps.
Right. You know, let me try something real quick here, Martin. Let's see what I haven't done a screen share in a bit. So it's open. Here. Photo. Gallery. All right, you guys see a little bobblehead keychain?
Yeah, I see two.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep,
we got it.
two little.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So literally, I hit screen share. I hit the share button.
Yeah.
And then it gives you a bunch of options: Microsoft OneDrive, SharePoint, Google Drive, Box, Photo. Well, my photos are in my gallery. I clicked on Photo. Now it brings up Files, Gallery, Adobe, Drive, Photos. Clicked on my gallery. And then I click on my picture.
Right. So if
So
I
we're doing
save that,
it in the
what
opposite
I'll do
direction.
then, Jane, is I'll try and save it off the Facebook to my photos on my phone. You see, normally I'd just be able to push share screen, and share screen would then instantly share whatever was on my screen with you, but it's not. It's bringing up.
Oh, I know. I hear you. I hear you. Send me the photo in Messenger, and I'll do it on my end, Martin.
Well, what I can do is I can screen grab it. So I will. Dane, I will come back in because it will not let me screen share with Zoom being there. It won't let me screen snap it. I'll come back. Give me 2 minutes.
Okay, yep. Okay, yep. Or you can go to Messenger and send the photo to me, and I'll do
Yeah,
it.
I might be able to do that better.
If it doesn't work when you come back in, so go ahead. I'll let you back in. Mr.
Great.
Hampton, you're looking good, buddy.
Yeah, how are you?
Well, I'm doing better now that I know that you're not pissed off at me.
No, I'm not pissed off at anybody.
Well, that's good. That's good. You had me worried.
No.
Why would he be pissed off at you, Dane? Spill it, man.
Any number of reasons. Who knows? I rub people the wrong way sometimes.
No, not mad at anybody.
Wouldn't have been anything intentional.
No,
There you go.
it's intentional that you know of.
Yeah, right.
No, I've been dealing with this nasty cold, and then my stupid phone's been messing up.
Yeah.
I got a wonderful Samsung Galaxy 9. That's how old my phone is.
I got a Note 8.
Yes.
Hey, I forgot to tell you guys, Mark Soleil and his wife both have COVID.
Oh my God.
They
Lovely.
think he got it at his rehab place.
Yeah, imagine that.
Imagine that.
I bet everybody was shotted up too.
Oh yeah.
I got tested 3 days ago at the VA clinic, and I don't have it. I came back negative, so
Oh, good.
they said it's just a cold.
It's definitely going around.
So I drank half a bottle of NyQuil, and now I'm feeling better.
A little sleepy, but better.
That
My
stuff
wife
in the
works
cup
at a
of my
rehab
brain.
hospital, and the hospitals, the medical hospitals, are sending COVID patients to rehab, and so they're masking up and all kind of fun stuff. I'm so aggravated with the medical profession right now. I could bite nails.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I've been aggravated for Adam for years, and it has nothing to do with COVID.
Well, COVID's just the cherry on top.
Yeah, that's the flavor of the.
Dane, have I taken over screen
term.
share there?
Yeah.
Yep, we got it now, Martin.
I've dived in. That is what caught my attention. And when you instantly look at something and think, what is going on there? What is somebody trying to do? When I went into the comments, I'm hoping if I just stop share and I go back into share screen, photos, gallery. This was what was shown in one of the comments. This is what the guy is making. Well, that baffled me. That really baffled me. And when you think, how's somebody done that? How have they managed to turn that? And it made quite a big discussion tonight on my group, certainly, because somebody instantly said, well, that's relatively easy. You could turn the outside, then you could turn that center section if you just moved it off center slightly. As for the middle, you could easily turn that because it's just a moon shape. Well, you wouldn't be able to put the tool in and take the tool out quick enough when it's spinning at 2,000 revs to only cut a 9-inch, 8-inch, 7-inch, 6-inch, 5-inch to get that anywhere near. So like I said, you would go off the sides. There's no way that's just easily turned out. It is either carved out or it has to be placed on the lathe, possibly 4 times off center to allow you to carve half of it and then the other half of it. But it certainly got me thinking, and it certainly got a lot of my guys thinking tonight.
Yeah, thanks, Martin. I've been thinking about it all day.
Yeah, and it's funny because, like I said, a lot of the guys, they kind of come up with ideas, but then didn't. My question, certainly, when I saw this blank, is what is going to be achieved the piece of walnut at the back or the piece of whitewood at the front? Are they using the walnut as the scrap? And that's what got my attention. What are you trying to do there, and which piece are you using as a waste? And really, you know, there's if he's managing to turn them, I think there's a lot of design and a lot of development gone into them. They would certainly take a bit of fathering them out and working out, but I do think they are possible by having them off-centered and turned off slowly.
Good.
By the looks of that picture, it looks like it's off center anyway.
Yes.
Right.
Well, this is what we were going through tonight.
But
And if we've already said, I've set a challenge for anybody who wants to have a go that can come back in a year's time and show us the results, because I think it'll take a year to get yourself right with a repositioning of the chucks and re-chucking it, re-centering it, moving it off center. So I think it'll be quite a challenge for somebody.
I'd like to see how it's chucked on the back side if there's not a sticker that's back there that allows you to move it.
Definitely one of my questions. I would like to see the back of that finished ball, because if it's not ball shaped, if it's just square, then I'm going to say the guy's hollowed it. He's carved it.
Did it by hand. Power carved.
If it's turned and you've got a nice ball shape on the back, it would be very difficult to carve afterwards.
Yeah. He showed the picture, and he had like 6 of them in a mobile kind of thing. And I saw where he posted that, and that was just, it was crazy. And I tried to wrap my head around it too. It's somewhere in that whole posting, he lists the instructions on how to turn that thing.
Yeah, well, he's not giving anything away. There is.
Where's it posted at?
It was in one of the groups, Dane, and I've got the post saved on my Facebook. So if something gets my interest, I often save the post so that I can keep going back even months later to have a look to see if anybody else has commented. The guy who's produced that is not very forthcoming with information on what he's actually done or what he's doing.
Right.
Okay. There is a post on his Facebook page a lot further down of some flat balls with a moon shape in them. Now, whether there's a little bit of confusion with the guy who's commented and showing that second picture I've showed you, if he's saying that that's what the guy's doing and there is a crossover path, then we're kind of on the wrong fling. I'm not as impressed. Them balls that he has of about 6 of them with a little bit of moon in the bottom, I'm not impressed with. They're just balls. You've got a nice moon shape in the bottom of the bowl. Really quite easily achieved. That thing that somebody's posted, that second picture that somebody's posted in the comments, is a lot more difficult to get your head around, and especially if that on the lathe is creating that's what's in the comments. But like I say, it's certainly got my lot talking tonight and trying to work out.
I bet.
Those two pictures they're not the same wood either, are they?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I call bullshit.
I think there's a complication there somewhere along the lines, but it's certainly got my attention, and it's something that I will possibly look at in the future to see if it's possible. One of my guys who's I often say this about turners. There is lots of different turners. You know, there's production turners, there's ball turners, there's spindle turners. There is millions of them. But there is also a turner that I call an experimentalist. And he is the likes of, well, I certainly have 3 in my group, and you've definitely got one with Jim Duxbury in your group. Jim Duxbury is an experimentalist turner. He is somebody that will work on something for months, if not years, until he feels like he's got it right. And one of my guys tonight instantly said, that's really clever if that's what he has managed to do. But it is possible, because if you lay something off center, you could carve it out so that you're only hitting a quarter of a ball. So in essence, it would be possible by taking center out over and cutting, and then center out over and cutting the other half to give you the depth, and then turning it. What would be very complicated is the different chucking points that you would need to try and put in place for the cuts to give you the end, because the middle.
Martin, you can make a jig to do it. It's very similar to the joiner offset jig.
I am sure somebody can. I cannot.
I'll bet you that we could do that with the duck's chuck.
Until I get my head around something, and that particular photograph got my head, and I haven't actually worked out how it's done. I will have a play, and once I've got my head around how it might be able to be done, then a jig could probably be made. But right at the moment, it's funny, certainly in my group, how many people jumped on and said, it's done like this, it's done like that, it's done like the other. And then other guys were coming in and saying, but it can't be done like that because of this. And it can't be done like that because of this. And it really did cause a bit of a debate within my group tonight. And it's a shame I didn't join you earlier on, because it would have caused, I am quite sure, a debate. And it's typically, it is typically an American that has posted it. Because you guys over there do like your challenges. You do like to come up with these things.
Do you remember offhand what group that was?
I can tell you. Give me 2 seconds.
Send me the link when you get a chance, Martin.
Martin, I'll bet you that a few of your buddies from your group tonight, your discussion tonight, are in their shop working on this right now.
They will have a go.
So I just went and I looked on Etsy for crescent moon bowls. And
there's loads of them.
A bunch that popped up, and they all say they're carved.
Yeah, right.
They're wood turned, and they all look exactly like that picture you showed.
Right.
They say they're all hand carved.
Well, I'm not impressed if it's carved.
Yeah, me either. Think about it this way, guys. The way you get that crescent like that is if it's tilted. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
So the wood has to be tilted. So you'd have to tilt it on two different centers to get that. So one of them makes the first one, and then one of them makes the second one, the second cut. And you could get, by doing two parallel cuts, you're getting both the outer surface and the inner surface. But it has to be tilted.
I was able to get it on my phone. It's working right now, but this is what's showing on my phone.
Yeah.
It says it's hand carved.
Come to your left, Scott.
Dan, I've just invited you into that group.
There you go. See?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's not
carved.
Yeah.
And it's just like the picture. Oh, pretty darn similar to what. And these are all. These are from guys and stuff. These are all hand carved in Asia, sold on Etsy.
But you guys know that with an offset jig, you could get the outside contours, right? I mean, Jim Duxbury's done that. We've seen pieces like that. And I know that in my own games with the joiner jig, I've gotten small pieces like that myself. It's getting the interior contours that are the harder part.
Yeah, you can cut the shape out on a lathe, but doing the inside, hollowing out the inside, no. That would be really a trick.
You would have to come in an arc. So that's why it has to be tilted, because it's the tilt that gives you the inner cuts.
I do think that it is possible. I'm unsure.
So, all right. So picture this. You mount it on a movable jig, right? The slides in and out, and you put it off center to cut the inner curve. And then you put it on, then you put a wedge under it, and you cut the outside curve of the intersection, the smaller curve. And then you put it on a wedge that tilts it up on the side, and you cut the curve on the inside of the bowl. Then you shift it, you cut the outside curve on the big curve, and then you tilt it out. You put the same wedge underneath, so it's raised the same amount, and you cut the inside part of that curve once it's tilted. And maybe you have to carve out the stuff in the middle, but at some point those curves have to intersect.
Yeah, well, that's what we were saying tonight. If that's at an angle, you would be able to take slice after slice after slice without going past the middle of the bowl.
Yep.
So you would quite happily be able to take out slice after slice and carve that inside. You would get a much better finish on the outside of the moon and the inside of the moon by turning it off center.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And I think that most of us who played around with that can understand how that's done. The hard part is getting the inner bits. But like I said, if the inside curve on both the larger curve and the smaller curve, they follow the same curve. You know what I'm saying? They're following the same center.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I say you keep it off center and then you tilt it up for the inside. You cut the outside one to follow it, and then you tilt it up to cut the inside one. Make sense?
Yeah.
That's funny, Martin. I used to be a member of this group, and I don't know why I had that.
Have they booted you out, Dan? Have they booted you out?
I guess so.
Have you been banned?
Well, I'm waiting for my application to be reviewed, but I'm looking at the pictures. Where's it at? How far down?
Oh, God knows, Dan. I just put it in saved. It was saved during the middle of the week.
Oh, send me the link.
just like that, Dan, on my phone. Any other time, I'd have my mouse and I'd be able to highlight it and all the rest of it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last thing I posted was my turquoise bowl.
Save. Where are we at? Saved. See all.
There's some presumptuous folks in this group anyhow, so.
Copy link. Try that. That's not what I wanted to do. Chat. Does that work for anybody? Does that link work, Dane?
I don't see it yet.
In the chat?
Oh, that chat.
Yes, I got it.
Yes, it works.
Has that managed to get you in?
Yep, I see it now.
Super, Joe.
Herman Schultz.
Right, Matt. So when you've managed it, come back to it and show me it.
I will. I'll figure it out.
Scott, there's your challenge as well, buddy.
I'll give it a try.
You've got now.
Scott is actually
taking you 3 weeks to make a handle.
Scott has actually given me another one too. Another challenge.
Oh, you know what? This is only a partial. You got to glue another. You got to turn this and then glue another piece on, and then you come back. It is an offset turning, and you're turning. At first, you're turning the inside.
See, Sue, this is how to get a group of guys not taking any notice of you anymore. They are all now working on this. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself, Sue. Unmute yourself, Sue.
Yeah, okay. There's another post to it.
Yeah.
All
Yep.
he is trying to do is get a
It's a-
sliver that looks like a moon that he glues into the bottom of a bowl.
Yeah, I'm not interested in that post.
Yeah,
That's boring.
This is
That,
so
that Dane, is boring.
Absolutely.
So here, I'll screenshot it and then do a screen share.
That's the one that Doug's talking about, where there's
Wow.
about 6 balls with different bits in the
Yeah.
bottom.
You got that one up?
I'm not as impressed with that post.
Well, there we are.
Oh, Mr. Joaquin's heard my voice now and jumped in. Evening, Joaquin.
So here it
need to
is.
yourself as well. That's the one.
Okay.
So Martin, so on that piece, the walnut that the slab that is glued on there.
Yeah.
He's turning a little sliver and then gluing it into a regular bowl, and that's his moon bowl.
Yeah, well, that's boring.
That is
Okay. That's not the one I saw at all.
Well, the one that Jan Ludwig has posted on that post looks like it's turned.
Yes. And it's the Ludwig one that I'm interested in.
right. The one that he's holding with his hand.
Half a ball.
Yeah, that's
right,
that's not a man's hand. That's a lady's hand.
Have you not seen
Yeah,
our nail value?
I didn't look close enough for that, so all I saw
Wait,
was
look.
The nails are painted black and they're sharp. So who's ever doing it isn't a turner because my nails will never be that long.
Because they're painted black and they're sharpened in today's world, that doesn't mean anything when you can't see context with the fingernails.
I'm just telling you that the way I am in the shop, my nails. I've got 4 of them that are busted right now. So it's
Oh, I hear you. I got a finger that one finger. It doesn't grow a proper nail.
I can see Joaquin now sat on the edge of his chair. Joaquin, did you get all of that conversation?
Yeah, I think it's angled on the back side. I think a waste block is angled where that's glued on.
It is. It
yes,
is.
yeah,
It is.
Okay.
So can you work on what?
And he states that in his description further down in the text. And then he's.
Can you work on one of the? Can you work on one of the moon balls?
Piece of wood is he carving? The lower or the upper?
The upper.
The
Okay.
upper one. The white
Right.
one.
Well, we want one of these moon balls doing, Joaquin, without any carving, turned.
Okay.
Matt thinks it's easy.
I didn't say that. I said it's tilted.
I say it'll be after Christmas before I can do anything like that.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
It'll be the same for me.
But I must definitely work
I can
on
tell
it.
you right now, I won't be doing it.
Yeah, we didn't want one tonight, Joaquin.
Oh, okay.
Well, don't get me wrong. I'll take one tonight.
Yeah, if you can figure out how to do it, I'll jump on that bandwagon.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try it next week.
Well,
It'll be after Christmas.
Nice. I like it.
Go next week. You got a couple of days. You got a day and a half, Joaquin, after Christmas.
We have
Yeah.
no,
Hold you
we have
to it.
no problem with that, Dane, but I would like to see, and certainly if people are going to have a go at this, I would certainly like to see their way of doing it, their procedures, and their way of doing it.
Matt,
There's an implication here in the comments that they turn the bottom first and then they flip it around and turn the bits on the top.
Yeah.
I would think if there's 10 of you all going to have a go, you will find that there will be 10 different ways of being able to manage to do that.
I think you're on the right track using the style of the Dux chuck to do that, Matt. You got my head spinning.
Well, I'm looking at it and I can see two different arcs. So it's clearly got two different centers. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But
I mean, it's
one
just
of those
like
centers.
It's like making it's like making those pendants that Billy did and I've done and you've done on the Dux chuck.
Yep.
And all you're doing is cutting that groove. When you cut those half moon grooves in there, you're turning it off center.
Exactly, and you tilt it up on the side so you get that angled into the thing. So all right, so picture this. All right, if you look at the Jan Ludwig one, and I don't know how do I get a link to this? Copy image link. All right, so just so we're all on the same page, I'm posting a big ass link here in the comments. It's on Facebook, okay? And it's from that post that Martin posted. So just so we're talking about the same one here, this is the one that Jan Ludwig posted, okay? So
Gary,
the center...
Gary's still playing with screen share. Gary, cut it out.
So the center for the outside curves has to be very close to the inside curve, the outside of the inside curve, right? If you try and extrapolate where that center is, it's very near where that finger is poking out on the inside of that moon bowl. You see what I'm saying?
This is what I think they're doing for their slope. Long to Dux chuck, they got that runner on the back side of the chuck, and it's sloped.
Are you showing us something? Hang on.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what they're doing.
And that's how they're getting their elevation because the board is glued to this. And they're moving. This back side here is again inside, flush against the back of your jaws, and they're moving that to be able to do the
curves,
the elevation of the moon.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, you're exactly right. That's exactly how it's working, Dane.
Yep, I think you're on the right track.
Yeah, and one of those centers is just inside where that moon, where the bowl ends on the inside curve. I mean, if that center is not actually on that rim.
That's an awful lot of trouble for a bowl you can find on Etsy for $14.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're not wrong, Scott. Well, it's the educational part will be, can I make it? Can I turn it? And if I can turn it, it's the only one I'm going to do because I can't compete with those $14 bowls.
Yeah, there's hundreds of them on Etsy. It's like I put in, wood turning crescent bowls, and man, 100 of them popped up just on Etsy.
Right.
Going 14.
But they're not wood turned. They're power carved with an arbor.
Every one of them says they're carved.
Yep.
Yeah.
The difference is there that we've got an item that we are desperately trying to work out how to achieve.
Right.
That is as common as muck. Everybody else has worked out how to do it. It's just our group that can't.
Don't say can't, Martin. Give us some time.
Well, I think we're on the right. I mean, the premise is there. Now it's just a matter of
execution.
God damn it! Yeah, now I'm going to be inclined to freaking try and do it. Because conceptually, it doesn't seem like it's
possible, right?
Conceptually, it seems very possible.
Yeah, conceptually, it seems easy.
Sure, it's the inside that's the puzzle, really.
That's where the slope on the back side of the chucking method. So, like I said, he purposely showed a picture of the front of it and not the back to show how that board is being held.
Right.
He's got that big board there for a reason.
Yes. But I'll tell you what, Dane. If it is possible to turn one of them on the lathe, the quality would be far superior than carving it.
Correct.
Absolutely.
What you got, Joaquin?
You got Joaquin going now.
Wait, let me get back to Zoom. I'm over here on this.
No, we see
No,
you.
you're on
We
Zoom.
can see you.
You were there.
Hello.
Why'd you minimize yourself
Here's
for?
Anyways, good night.
Visualize
You-
this.
Merry Christmas. Be safe.
Merry
Good
Christmas.
night.
Sue.
Merry
Hey,
Christmas,
Sue.
Sue. Take care, girl.
Bye, Sue. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Thank
Hey,
you. I take care.
Hey, Sue.
Yeah.
Sue, I emailed you the math. So if
Oh,
you
good.
you know,
Thank-
if you're that interested, there it is.
Well, the thing is, I couldn't read it. The eye thing came up again, so I just couldn't read it. So this way I can charge it and then read it.
All right. Well, the PDF file will be on the website. I've already sent it to Dave. So my calculations are in there too. So
Okay. Well, I may make a lot bigger sphere.
that's fine. It'd probably be easier.
Yeah.
I was having trouble getting between the tines. So
Yeah. Well, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it.
you're welcome.
Good night, all. Bye-bye.
What do you got, Joaquin?
All
Good
right.
night, Sue. Merry Christmas, girl.
Thank you, babe. Take care.
You're welcome. All right, Joaquin. All you, buddy. Your internet's spotty tonight, ain't it?
My Zoom. I'm gonna have to.
You look like a 1930s flip comic. Yeah, your video is freezing up, Joaquin. Or is it just me?
That's freezing.
Get two bowls.
But I mean, that's a look.
I've got to make a suggestion about this bowl you were looking at. Could I interrupt on that? I just realized that what it might be, the reason why it's 2 layers in the construction, what it might be is they're cutting a normal bowl and then cutting it down diagonally. Something like Scott was showing us something like that. It was, yeah, at one time, because if you weren't worried about that rim being equal all the way around to start with, you get something that was really, you'd get a normal bowl and then you'd cut it diagonally and it would smooth off the top. So if they're doing something of that nature, it would require a tipping and a cutting, but really it wouldn't be that bad, would it? Am I completely off on that logic of cutting a normal bowl and then cutting it diagonally?
The turning the inside of it's going to be the biggest problem.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. When you turn the inside in a very normal manner, and you then say to yourself, okay, I'm going to cut it diagonally. Instead of going across the bowl straight across, you're cutting it this way. And as long as that's why they had a double layer. They were saying, okay, I'm cutting from the top up here down to the bottom here. And when you cut it diagonally, it's going to leave a larger stripe on the bottom.
Right. So, right. Yes, you're on to something. But the thing of it is, the picture with the bowl, with the lathe, with the wood slabs set up,
right,
and the carved crescent moon, the two of them have absolutely nothing to do with each other.
Well, what I was thinking is the crescent needs to be cut on the outside. You're right. You'd end up using the offset to cut the outside and the inside. But at the same time, you also have the situation where it's tipped slightly and it would cut it. I noticed that the outer edge where we're looking at is relatively flat, almost like the bottom of a bowl, not literally flat, but fairly evenly cut on this one side. And then it goes much deeper on the back side of the bowl. So it's almost like the bowl was cut at this angle and it created a deeper indent on this side. And then they sliced it this way. If somebody can bring the picture of the bowl back up, you might see what I'm trying to say.
I can hear you, David. I can visualize that.
You can visualize it?
Yeah. Yeah, the outer part or the outer part of the inside of the bowl is deeper than the inner part.
Exactly.
Right.
That's what I was saying. It's much deeper. It's almost like a normal bowl on the outer edge.
Then it gets
and
a
the
much
inner
more
edge
shallow
is
as it goes
kind of
towards
flat.
the edge.
And then if you then cut it around here and you sliced it, you get, if you notice the arc on the inner edge, it's not a circle, it's almost a hyperbola.
Yeah, it's not the same.
Yeah.
It's not a normal circle radius. It's kind of
No.
straight on the outer edge and outer the bottom, nice curved in the center. It's kind of a hyperbola. So it was cut in an interesting way, and that would explain why we have two layers. We have one here that's big, and then we have one layer that's only half a layer because they're trying to get an extra depth on this side for cutting this thing out. Then they know they're going to cut it diagonally across. And as long as they cut it diagonally across where the joint is, where those two pieces of wood come together, you wouldn't realize it, or you might not realize it as long as the wood is similar, pretty darn similar.
With your comment there, Dave, you've instantly got my head going now. And Matt, are you still listening? Matt?
Think Matt's gone?
Where's he gone? He's gone to make a bloody ball. What's just gone through my head, Dave, is if you almost mounted that on the lathe in such a way that you have got almost like a wheel wobble, so that it's doing this.
Exactly. I like that. There we go.
Yep.
A wheel wobble and then a diagonal cut in a way, and a cut on the outside, cut on the inside. Yeah.
You would only be catching, but I would, if I was going to have a go at it, I'd have a go at the inside shape first, because that wobble that you get will determine the outside shape, how much cutting you're cutting to the center of the ball. But I think we're on the right lines there.
Martin, will you send that link to me when you get a chance? Message me that link.
Yeah, will do. I think there's going to be quite a lot of us working on this.
David's got my head going now. I think I can do it. I think I can make a miniature one on a duck's chuck.
Yeah, well, I think I'm gonna have a wheel wobble.
Well, I'm gonna create the same thing, except on a duck's chuck, I'm gonna take my piece, instead of having it flat here, I'm gonna cut it at an angle to create that wobble.
Yeah.
And mount it in that track.
In the meantime, I am going to go and sleep on it because it is now 4 o'clock in the morning.
Good luck on sleeping on it, because that's going to keep you awake all night.
So here is some verbiage from somebody that figured it out, and the guy confirmed that's how he did it.
This is Dane that was not getting involved in this.
Yeah, I know, right?
Thanks, Martin.
You're very welcome.
Hey, we'll see you later.
Yes, sir.
Have a Merry Christmas, Martin.
Night, Martin.
And to you all.
Merry Christmas, Martin.
Merry Christmas.
For New Year. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Good night, Martin. Good night.
Martin, is that sun coming up behind you?
He's all gone already.
Yeah, he's already gone.
It's 4 a.m. where he's at.
Yep.
He was on with us well after the sun came up last week.
It came up last week for him
when he was driving to work.
I swear, I've been looking for that the one that I saw, and I'm not finding it. It's crazy.
I gotta tell you though, these shaped bowls are pretty popular on these Etsy sites and stuff. It's
right.
They're everywhere.
Martin's trying to get back in. He came up with something.
Yeah, the one I saw was not that carved one.
Did somebody shout Martin just as I was logging off?
They're asking if that was the sun coming up in the background.
Yeah. Carl wanted to know if the sun was up.
He bloody well is.
I'm seeing a bright light behind you.
No, the other sun. That's the SON.
That's my youngest. That
He's still up at 4 a.m.
Doesn't need to go to school tomorrow.
Oh,
okay.
I know that the other son is not up yet. It's still very much in bed. It's only 4 a.m. and we don't get sunshine until about 8.
You said he's up for school for tomorrow. Wouldn't he be up for school for today?
He's not up for school at all today.
Oh, okay.
Could be winter break there, right?
They've finished for their Christmas break. They go back on the 4th of January, I think it is.
Oh, very good. We're staying up to keep an eye on you.
Well, they have a tendency of kids don't sleep, do they?
Good night, Dave.
Good night,
Dave. Right, and I'm going to get gone. I'll see you later on, guys. I'll see you after.
Martin.
See you, Martin.
Yeah, buddy.
Have a great holiday.
I think I'm going to head out too, guys. It's been good.